Hello, my name's Orla Allen, medium and author, and I'm working through the tarot deck, explaining what each card represents, just a general overview. If you haven't already, there's 2 previous videos. Please go back and watch them before you watch this one. So now we're going to move on to the Ace of Pentacles. Again, like I said in the previous video of the wands, the aces talk about a brand new beginning. So it's a fresh start, it's something brand new. And Pentacles are talking about your finances or your abundance. So it could be where the person has started a new job and then it takes maybe a month or 2 weeks, depending on how often they get paid, before the money before they start to see any of the finances for it. So this would represent where there's new money coming in. It could also be something like a lottery win or inheritance money being paid out. It just depends on what other cards you have and what jumps into your intuition when you're reading that card. Now, the Two of Pentacles is a bit like I said with the wands. The twos represent where we're starting to move forward, but we're a little bit uncertain because something new has started. So this card comes forward to talk about where things are moving forward, but they're not very settled. If you look at the water behind him, the boats are kind of up and down. If you look at his hands, they're not balanced. One's lower than the other. He's kind of looking at the lower, so he's focusing on the negative. So there's lots going on in this card, which represents the Two of Pentacles and the financial situation that the person you're reading for is in. Next up, we have the Three of Pentacles. And again, the Three of Pentacles is where you've got the three-legged table. If you lean on the wrong side, the table's going to tipple over. But if you leave the table sitting in the corner, it'll be perfectly fine. And what that basically means is where your finances are concerned, don't make any big major purchases. Now is not the time to make those decisions. Now is not the time to commit to anything. So it wouldn't be a time to sign a mortgage. It wouldn't be a time to sign a new lease. Anything that involves a large quantity of money, you don't want to make those decisions just at this moment. Now, it could mean that you need to leave it a couple of days. It could mean you need to leave it a couple of weeks. It could even mean that you need to leave it a couple of months. But just this is not the time. Is essentially what this card talks about. If you look at the image on the card, you've got like a monk and perhaps a nun. I'm not sure who the lady in the red is. They appear to be in some sort of religious building, and there's a man that's fixing something, and it almost feels like with this where they're trying to cut corners. They're looking at they're saying, okay, can we not just leave this, and do we really need this? And what this kind of has the feeling of is where somebody who knows their craft knows exactly how to make or fix something the best possible way. And if you want to cut corners, then you're not going to get the same quality as you would if you took the advice of the person who's in the know. So there's very much the element with this card where you need to have all the information before you can move forward. And sometimes where finances are concerned, we maybe haven't found the right thing to buy yet, or there's maybe something better out there for us that we're just not aware of at that particular moment in time. Again, fours represent stability. So the finances are kind of moving into their own at this stage. If you notice, he's got his 2 feet and 2 coins. He's holding a coin. There's a coin in his head. So this very much has a feeling of kind of banking the 2 coins at the bottom. There's money sitting there. We've paid the bills. We've paid what we have to. And now there's a little bit extra left over. So this is maybe where we need to start looking at what we're going to spend the big money on. What mortgage are we going to go for? What car are we going to go for? What holiday are we going to go for? Whatever the big financial decision is that we were avoiding on the 3, we're now starting to look at it on the 4. We're gathering the information. We're making sure that we are looking out for our investments. We're looking out for ourselves, and we're doing the right thing where finances are concerned. Now, the 5 of Pentacles talks about where we're at a crossroads and we've got a decision we need to make. So there's the element of, do we go left or do we go right? And I kind of feel like with this card that there's not really a wrong decision we need to make. We just need to make a decision. I always feel with this card that we empower ourselves when we make a decision, whereas if we don't make a decision, it'll be made for us. And when it's made for us, the control is taken out of our hands. So we're kind of coming at it from a back foot, and we really don't want to, especially where our finances are concerned. We want control of that at all times. So there's very much a case of we don't want to make a decision, but we have to make a decision with this card. We need to decide what it is that we want, and we need to go for that. Next, we have the 6 of Pentacles. And again, the 6 of Pentacles, like the 6 of Wands, is talking about your foundation. It's talking about your home, your family life, what it is you're trying to create. But there's the element with this card where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But what I would say to you is make wise decisions, make wise choices. Make sure when it comes to a 5 that you make the decision that's right for you, not the one that you necessarily just want. Because if you can think with your head and know it's a good decision and your heart wants it too, then that's fantastic. But make the decision that's the best for you, because the 6 comes forward and it has a little element of us having to work for our future, us having to really push for what it is that we want. But do you know what? You're creating your dream, you're creating what it is that you want. So that extra little push shouldn't be a problem for you either. Then we have the 7 of Pentacles. Now, 7s are a magic number, so they tend to feel like manifesting. They're where you're creating your future. If you believe in angels, you can work with the angels to create this. But if you look at the card, he's very much growing his crops. He's making his money work for him. He's making investments, he's making smart choices. But there is also the element of this little coin down here where perhaps he's not watching everything. So yeah, decide what it is you want, make sure it's what you really want, and then believe that you're going to get it and work really hard to make it happen for yourself, because this card always has this element of the future, of any future is possible if you just put the time and effort into it. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles. Again, 8s are fate. So this is a situation that's going to happen no matter what. So your free will, for the most part, when you get a tarot reading, the free will of your client, they get to choose what they want. They get to choose what's going to happen. But the 8s tend to represent situations that are going to happen no matter what. So this could be where a company that you work for goes into administration, or it could be where someone round about you walks away or makes changes in their life which impact you. So this could be perhaps a childminder that's going to stop you from earning your money because you now have to find somebody else to look after your children. So this is a fated situation, and usually these come forward when you haven't been making decisions or when you haven't been making choices, and they kind of force your hand into making that choice or making that change that you need to. So it's where you're putting up kind of thoughts or prayers, or you're trying to manifest your future, and the signs are coming back to you telling you what it is that you need to do or what it is your client needs to do, and your client's just not listening. They're not kind of taking the action that they need to. They kind of want things to just happen without them having to make the choices or make the hard decisions. And the 8 comes forward to force their hands. The 8 comes forward to make them make those choices or make those decisions or make those changes. But it's always better if they choose the change rather than have it forced on them with the 8 card. So again, the 9 is closing doors. We're looking at finances here. But this card has an element in it where it's almost like our riches have come home to roost. So we're making changes because we've succeeded in what it is that we've done. You'll notice she has all her coins at her feet, and there's lots of grapes growing behind her. So there's an awful lot of growth from her work, her hard work, and all the elements that go with that. So we're closing the door with the 9 so that we can move forward to a new phase. We can move forward to the next step of your finances. And the 10 of Pentacles, again, is like the Ace of Pentacles. It's a new situation where your finances are concerned, but it's not brand new. So it's something that's already existed. So it's not like winning the lottery. It's more a case of maybe getting promoted at work, or something happening which you've been waiting for, something you've been expecting to happen, but it talks about when it's going to happen. I always look at the wee gentleman that's at the bottom here, and it kind of feels like he has all the wisdom and he has the knowledge. So that's what the 10 kind of feels like. We've got the knowledge, we've got the wisdom, we've done the hard work, and we're moving forward with it now. Then we have the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles comes forward with a message. Again, it's this new energy, it's this youthfulness, it's this motivation. So we're looking at the future. We're looking at the future with hope. We're looking at what we're going to invest in, how we're going to progress with our money, or even maybe what we're going to spend our money on. And then we have the Knight, and if you look at the Knight, the horse is standing still. So we're standing still with this card, and we're deciding what it is we need to do, what it is we want to, what progress we need to make now that our finances have come in. And again, the King and Queen are the same with the Pentacles as they were with the Wands. They're the 2 that are in charge. She's a little bit more emotional about it. He's a little bit more kind of structured and kind of definite about stuff. Again, These don't have sexes, so they can be male or female. Just because they're king and queen doesn't mean that's who